Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're doing well today. It's Jen Levitrius, and we are checking back in with the Scandinavian Empire as playing as Sweden, and this is the part 7 of the series, and I'm very excited to show you what's going on with our coalition in Operation Viking, which is invading the North American continent, which is held mainly by Mexico, and our strategy to take out the nation of Mexico and then go on to South America afterwards. So what Operation Viking consists of is Sweden sending special forces into a few cities on the eastern seaboard, doing some recon, and then once these cities are secured and we know that there's not any units, sending Marines in to take the land, build air bases, and then airlift troops and forces into eastern USA with naval support. You can see I have some naval stacks providing support here. One stack here is high level destroyers with a high level frigate. This is a smaller stack just consisting of 3 ships, but one of my bigger ones down here is one consisting of 5 ships in the Gulf of Mexico here, just hiding tucked away undetected. So once we're able to do recon and land troops by building air forces and everything. So once the operation in the eastern seaboard goes well, we actually have a stack back here which has 4 mech infantry and high level mobile artillery with a high level SAM that is performing a major flank in the west that has sailed from Iceland through these Arctic islands up here in Canada through the Bering Strait. What its purpose is, it's going to land down here in San Francisco and then go across, take LA and Mexicali hopefully, and cause an issue for Mexico in these cities. LA is an annexed city with a level 3 naval base. Mexicali is just a normal looking city to me. It just has a level 2 army base, but it does have a level 5 arms industry, so taking this will be a major economic hit for Mexico. So that is this stack's operation, is just to cause some chaos in the western front. You also see all these blue lines. That is Norway, who is sending many Marines. You see all these ships up here. It's an assortment of Marines and also some motorized infantry. So he has level 2 Marines that he has all broken up here and go into different directions all over Mexico's land. You can see he's landing in some places that don't require harbors like here, and he's going to land in this city which has a level 3 naval base, landing in Veracruz which has a harbor, but then he's going to land here and straight into Mexico City. So you see all these blue lines down here. Mainly that purpose is to cause chaos on Mexico's front for me to come in as the main force, which one of my main stacks is here sitting in Iceland that I've slowly been building by airlifting troops, and that is high level tank destroyers level 4. You have mobile artillery, SAMs, a radar, mobile anti-air vehicles, and mechanized infantry. I have more and more troops that are getting ferried into this area. The stack has slowly been building, but this will be a main invasion force that's going to be supported by 3 naval stacks when it's time to combine them. You see one here, 2 destroyers and a frigate. Up here, 3 destroyers and a frigate. And then here, 4 destroyers and a frigate. So once these are all combined, or somewhat combined, using that to cause havoc in the Gulf of Mexico and give safe passage for our troops to land. One thing I particularly want to highlight for you guys is the use case of a special force unit. So we'll go to Halifax here. This is a key unit in this whole operation. One thing about special forces that's very useful is if you don't want to cause war but you want to do recon on an enemy, you can use their sight range. That's this area here that's highlighted that you can see exactly what's going on. If there was a unit here, it could tell you the exact composition of the stack, whether that's 3 motorized infantry or an artillery unit, it would show it to you. You can see the same thing with the sight range of this naval unit. See this highlighted space? That is the sight range of this stack. And one thing I want to highlight was look at the sight range of these special forces. You see here, sight range on the bottom for these different terrains across. It's mainly 40, but in the mountains it's 50 because I think that's because it's at a higher altitude and you can see further away. Now if you look at a normal unit, let's look at some Marines over here and some motorized infantry. Motorized infantry, level 1, 25, and then 30 in the mountains, but 25 across the board. Marines, for instance, same thing. Let's look at some high level units. Let's look at the level 4 mechanized infantry. 25 across the board except for a 35 mountain. So that is something that's really to take in consideration for the special forces. If you want to do an operation where you're sending something in to see the exact composition, but you don't want to declare war, use them to do some recon for you. Especially once you get the level 4 special forces, which you can do amphibious assaults with, which that means you don't need a harbor to land. You can land in a province like this. You can land up here, or there's a route and you could slowly come in that way. Or if you wanted to land this island for some reason, if you don't want to use this harbor, you could land here and use this and build an airstrip if you needed to. Or if you wanted to land up in here in Canada on this major northern flank, I could have landed here, just come straight down and done some recon on them. So it's definitely something to consider. Now, if your unit runs into a unit of theirs on their way, on their route, that's going to declare war, and then your unit's going to be found out. They're not going to be covert anymore until they get out of there. So you want to keep that in mind. But right now it looks like there's no units in this area. The sight range shows that there's nothing in this city, and this unit is still covert. That is a signal for Norway to send his Marines and actually take this land, which will declare war. I will not be at war with Mexico just yet. I'm doing recon until I land my own troops, but I could declare war on him. But I might keep a low profile so I can continue to do recon with these special forces. One unit I particularly want to talk about when you're talking about special forces is the Commando, which is one of the seasonal units. This unit is flying in to Iceland. I'm going to use them for some recon, but let's look at the sight range of the Commando. The Commando sight range is 55 for most terrains and 66 in the mountains. That is a pretty significant increase. You see about 15 points of increase compared to the special forces. So I'm very excited to use this unit. I'm going to show you guys some of the use cases with the Commando. You can also see its stats aren't the best starting out, but let's look at the level 3 Commando so you can see how strong they can really get. Level 3 Commando, you have 11 damage against infantry, 7 against hard targets, and you have some anti-air abilities as well. You also get the amphibious assault if you get to the level 3 Commando, which is very, very dangerous for your enemies. If you have that and you can land anywhere with this kind of unit and do some recon with the 55 sight range, that is very strong. You can have a max of 10 of these Commandos, which is a lot of power if you do end up getting a lot of these mobilized in your country. Here's the cost of a level 3 Commando: 1,800 components, 3,000 manpower, 1,000 electronics, and $10,000. So that's about a cost of high level mobile artillery, for instance, I would say. But please keep in mind that you cannot conquer with the Commando. It can reveal stealth of ground units and aircraft. That's something that's really useful, especially with the aircraft. It can reveal the stealth of both of those kind of categories of units. And it's going to ignore any entrenchment bonuses, bunkers, things like that. It's going to just get in there. But it has a rear line echelon. If you have it in a stack, for instance, it's going to be in the back end and receive less damage than your other units that are in the front line or in the midline echelon. If you want to mobilize the Commando, what you need to do is you actually need a mercenary outpost, and the mercenary outpost is something new, so is the unit as well. I don't have mercenaries research right now because I don't think I really needed them, but you need that building, the outpost, built, and then this allows you to get the Commando as long as you have it researched. But the first thing you have to research to even research the Commando is you need to research the Special Forces level 1, and then you need to do level 3 to do the level 2 Commando. Now I believe once you're past that, then you can do level 3 without leveling up your Special Forces any further. So you have to keep that in mind, that there's going to be some additional costs before you can even get the Commando. You need to have the mercenary outpost, which isn't that much for a building, but you have to invest your supplies and your rare materials in your Special Forces to at least level 3 if you want to get a higher level Commando. If you're going to go that route, you are committing to using Special Forces, I would say. You might as well use them if you're going to go with a Commando. Use the Special Forces as almost like a support unit for your Commandos. So wrapping up Operation Viking, you know that what we are mainly doing is we're just going to cause some havoc with his Marines, doing recon of the Special Forces, a major flank with a stack up here, and then a major stack that's going to cause some havoc, and what we're going to do is we're going to go straight through the Gulf of Mexico into Veracruz, land in Veracruz with this naval support, and then go into Mexico City and take the capital. That's the plan, at least. Now for Romania, who's a very strong ally of ours, he has high level cruisers that's going to assist us as well. You can see he has level 5 cruisers and he's got multiple stacks. He also has captain here somewhere. You see he has a level 3 naval captain. So we have a lot going on for us right here with these Romanian stacks that are going to help us out. He's also going to push his units down into Africa against the American coalition, which I have some support here. I have a stack here which consists of 6 mech infantry, 3 tank destroyers, a SAM, mobile artillery, and a mobile radar. And then we have Finland, who has been pushing his offensive against Mongolia. He has taken the Mongolia homeland and he's landing. You can see here in the Pacific coast, and we've also had Japan join us. So now we basically are stretched to the Pacific Ocean, and we can use this part to go across the Pacific and attack the American coalition on this front, and we are attacking on the Atlantic front. So it's going to be a very interesting thing, guys. One thing I want to highlight, if you're at day 39, make sure you have THAADS or missiles. You can have both if your economy permits, but for me, I decided just to go with the THAAD routes, and I have a THAAD in almost every city here. If you do a THAAD and a high level SAM, I can show you the stats here. You have 15 defense against them. If you have a level 1 THAAD, you're gonna have 12 defense. All right, and then as always, let's look at we have level 4 mechanized infantry. We have level 3 special forces that's on its way to be our research at 19%. For the armor, we have level 4 tank destroyers, which has been very helpful, and now I can airlift them. For the mobile artillery, we have level 4 mobile artillery. And then for the SAM launcher, we have level 4, and we have level 1 THAAD and mobile radar. Level 1 ASW helicopters. I'm not sure if I'm going to level this up anymore. I just researched this just for a very specific moment against the African coalition back then. Fighters, I have not invested in anything else. Still level 2 strike fighters. Heavy bombers at level 1. Naval units, level 2 corvette. Level 5 frigates, and level 5 destroyers. No subs, no missiles, no officers. I have the level 1 commando. Planning on getting him maybe to level 2 or level 3. Level 3 would be the most advisable because I could do the amphibious assaults and do a lot of recon on our enemies going forth in this game. So that's basically it, guys. We have a major operation underway, the Operation Viking. Hopefully, guys, this will be a successful operation for us. Very excited to show you the result or during results as it's happened. And I hope this explanation of the special forces has been helpful to you guys. If you have further questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.